Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about Yamaha and Aprilia's test updates at the Shakedown. Now, we're going to start with Yamaha, and the first thing that I noticed with Yamaha was that they are running a new swing arm at the back, and here you will see it's just slightly chunkier than the old one that they were running. They were also running a reduced size or a smaller rear cowl. Now, I thought they would run Stegosaurus wings since everyone is raving about them, but Yamaha have decided not to go with them. Maybe that's they want to have a super slippery bike down the straights. I don't know, but you know, one of the big talking points was the new front fairing that Yamaha were running, and you know, I know Cal set top speed at 335 kilometers an hour, which, you know, a lot of people are getting carried away with, you know, going on about, oh, they're 8 kilometers an hour faster than last year's test, they're 5 kilometers an hour faster than they were in the race. There's a couple of things that we don't necessarily know, like, did Cal have a slipstream? Was he on pure light fuel? You know, and also, you know, Cal was trying a number of variations of the new front wing. So here you will see he has all of the front wing and the side wings on of the new type of front cowl, but he was also testing it without the side fairings. Now, when you look at the front wing, you will see it's quite skinny. If you compare to what Quartararo was using in the test in Valencia, and even if you have a look at their front fairing that they were running last year, you can see how chunky that is compared to the new one. So, you know, a lot of people, including myself, believe that the aerodynamic update gave them the top speed. Do you know what I mean? That it wasn't particularly engine. Now, Crutchlow was quite cheeky when he said that, you know, I don't know why people are looking at the speed traps, it's in the braking zone, but I guess a lot is going to be told tomorrow when the official test takes place. Now, Crutchlow is doing the official test also, so it will be interesting to see where Yamaha really are when Quartararo and Morbidelli and Crutchlow can compare each other back to back on the track with the same equipment. So now with Aprilia, this is one of the teams that, in my view, are the most talked about team at the Shakedown test. So there's a couple of things that I really noticed about the bike this year. So if you look at it from this side, there's a couple of things sticking out for me here. First is that if you look at the hammerhead, top point of the hammerhead, see how nicely it blends right to the back of the bike. The second thing that I noticed is that there is the beak at the end of the belly pan. Now, I believe this is bringing air or something up into the front vent that's on the front cowl just by the rider's face. And I think what that is doing is pushing the air up over the rider's shoulders, helping it to become clean air off the rider's back. Definitely some fun aerodynamics going on there. The other thing that I've noticed is, and you see it from this side, is the front wing. Now, the front wing seems an awful lot skinnier than what it did last year. The front part of the wing is not so long. And what I mean is long as in width-wise, it's quite skinny compared to what they were running in 2022. What I also noticed, and you see it really here in this picture, is right down the bottom of the belly pan, you can see the ridge that's running all the way along. Now, this picture was taken on day one, so this ridge came out before the KTM one was made visible on the last day. But I think it's really interesting how KTM, Ducati, and Aprilia are really focusing on this area. And the last thing that I noticed is that the width of the fairing is now an awful lot wider, and you can see it really here with the vents. The vents are a lot wider, so the fairing is a lot wider. If you were to look at the Honda from the tail end, you would see that the fairing is really, really close to the body. The other thing that you will notice here as well on the Aprilia is that the tail unit of it is really, really smooth. Compared to last year, there was kind of like steps towards the back of it, if you can remember. So for me, Aprilia are one of the teams that are, I suppose, in my view, setting the trend. Now Ducati were doing it, and they still are, but I think the amount of innovation from the last 2 years from the Aprilia team have been second to none, and that's why they have made that massive jump forward, in my view, is that they are starting to understand the aerodynamics of the bike and also how to make a good bike. But definitely going to be interesting to see how the likes of Aleix Espargaro, Maverick, and Miguel Oliveira and Fernandez get on with the Aprilia bike. There was 6 bikes out on the track, and that made sense as well because Salvadori would be doing shakedown tests of the other lads' bikes before they turn the wheel in anger on Friday. But I definitely think it was probably one of the most talked about teams over the course of the test. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Did you see anything that I missed? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tonight for the live stream of the official test.